They saw that Ratchet is a medic, they called him a medic, but he did nothing as a medic. What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just a web series we're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 67, and we're going to start off with birthday shoutouts. Got a couple of them. Bryce Collins, Transformers Review, and Alejandro Flores. Happy birthday to all y'all. Hope you have a good one, and thank you for being part of the Ragin Nation. Now, we got some official news, well, specifically official images of existing Autobots. Not new Autobots, but existing Autobots that we've already seen in Transformers Age of Extinction. We're going to start off with Crosshairs. Check this out. This is the image for Crosshairs. And let's just read what it has to say here. Autobot when it counts, the lone sniper. Now, let's go back to where it says Autobot when it counts. And this is no surprise. I'm surprised that they actually put that down, but the fact that it says when it counts is no surprise, because if you remember his personality from Transformers Age of Extinction, he's kind of selfish. He does have that kind of like a lone wolf kind of attitude, mainly because he kind of just looks out for himself. Like, for example, when they were on the night ship, he just wanted to leave. He didn't care about rescuing the humans and, or rather Tessa and Optimus. He just wanted to leave. So he's an Autobot when it counts. I guess when it comes down to the battle, then he will be there. He's also the lone sniper. Now that's a bit of a tease. If they wrote down he's a lone sniper prior to Transformers Age of Extinction, that's a bit of a tease because, well, he didn't do a whole lot except for in that scene where he was fighting off drone ships with his double guns, right? But other than that, we didn't see a whole lot of him. So I'm hoping that this lone sniper personality is something that is going to be visually evident in Transformers Last Night. I want to see him use his sniper rifle or just be a marksman, an expert marksman when it comes to taking out Decepticons. Anyways, let's take a look at this concept art, and surprise, surprise! This is old concept art. There is, as far as I can tell, nothing new here. If you look back at the concept art from Transformers Age of Extinction, this is something that has already been used. But, that is no big deal to me. It's the same character from before. They really haven't changed a whole lot with the Corvette except for the spoiler, so why on earth would the concept art, or rather the robot mode, change? I was just hoping that they would develop new concept art that we haven't seen before, but we've seen that before, so let's just move on to Hound. Check this out. The robot mode for Hound has been revealed, and it looks familiar. Before I talk about any of that, let's just talk about his history and personality. Boisterous Autobot Commando. Always has his finger on a trigger. And that's who Hound is. If you remember in Transformers Age of Extinction, he is basically the muscle in the Autobot team. He's always fighting. He's got a lot of guns on him. And this is a concept art that is also, just like Crosshairs and Drift, a piece of concept art that has been used in Transformers Age of Extinction. It has just been tweaked. Obviously, the most evident piece of tweaking is the medic symbols, okay? Does this mean that Hound replaces Ratchet as a medic? Because obviously Ratchet was the medic until he got killed by Lockdown in Transformers Age of Extinction, so it looks like Hound is doing double duty as not only an Autobot Commando, but also the medic. And here he is. They put medic symbols all over him. And not only that, I was actually trying to look for physical changes that they've done to Hound. And it looks like they've actually sacrificed a lot of his weapons. Now check out the concept art for Hound from Transformers Age of Extinction. He's got weapons everywhere. He's got this rifle or shotgun on his right shoulder. It's no longer there. Is no longer there on his Transformers Last Night concept art. And if you take a look on his left arm, you see a Gatling gun, like a chain gun there. it's missing in the Transformers Last Night concept art. Not only that, he's got this other gun on his right leg. It's no longer there on his right leg in the Transformers Last Night concept art, but he still has a piece of that cannon on his upper thigh. So it's still there, but it looks like him being a medic actually sacrificed a bit of his arsenal. Now, what I find very interesting is that obviously we've already seen Hound as a different alt mode. I forgot what kind of vehicle it is, but he is no longer an Oshkosh tactical defense vehicle. He is some kind of modified Mercedes military transport of some kind, okay? And I guess there's more muscle to him, more meat to him, because if you put a comparison between the two of them side by side, the Transformers Last Night version of Hound, the medic version, is actually taller than the Age of Extinction version. He's actually got more meat on his thighs, thus making him taller than his Age of Extinction version. The Age of Extinction version kind of actually has less thigh meat right above the kneecaps. So therefore, it seems like he's more proportionally correct in the Last Night version. So I'm kind of liking that. But other than that, he's still the same character. He's still the same general look. The biggest change to him, other than his height, is actually the fact that he's lacking weapons, but he still is a medic. He is a medic, and he's taking that duty right after a Ratchet was taken out. So there you have it. That is Hound, and this is a very interesting move for Transformers because I would never have thought that something like this would happen. And it's mainly because when Autobots die in the previous films, they don't really address it in the films that follow. This is a way of addressing Ratchet's death, and I think it's a very appropriate change. But if they're going to do this, let it serve a purpose in the story. I hope they don't just make him a medic or assume the role of a medic and have him not do anything. This could tell us something about the story. One of the Autobots is going to get hurt severely, maybe even mortally, or, you know, like really, really bad to the point where they could even die. Okay? So where they have to scream, "Medic!" You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that they would slap on medic symbols on Hound unless it were for a reason. And maybe they heard the fans where they saw that Ratchet is a medic, they called him a medic, but he did nothing as a medic. So I think this is their chance to really redeem himself, or at least this is a way to honor Ratchet. So let's hope that it happens in Transformers Last Night. All right. So there are your concept arts for the two latest Autobot robot mode reveals. Now there is another reveal, and that's for Barricade. Now I'm not going to talk about it in this episode. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to leave that for the next episode. Okay. In episode 68, we'll talk about Barricade and potentially the reveal of maybe the Volkswagen van, who I'm calling Swindle for now, and maybe Onslaught. After all, Michael Bay has been releasing these on a daily or every other day basis. So you can guarantee that something is coming, and it's coming soon. So what are we going to talk about in the rest of this episode? Well, for the rest of this episode, let's just talk about a little bit of the story. Let's do a little bit of speculation. Okay, so the biggest surprise for me in the production of Transformers Last Night is the addition of Hot Rod. Okay, a lot of fans have mixed feelings about this because they're concerned about how this would affect the story, and also the look of Hot Rod is all wrong in their opinion. Okay, but you know, for me, what I'd like to say to that is that we're already 5 films into the Transformers live action franchise, and you're still complaining. That's 10 years worth of complaining. Give it a rest. Relax. It's not the same Transformers you know from G1, okay? So let's just cool it with the complaining, because Michael Bay's version of Transformers is not anywhere near G1, and you should have known that by now. After 10 years, you still don't know that? Come on. Anyways, now let's talk about how this relates to the story. Adding Hot Rod in can't be just adding in Hot Rod for the sake of adding new Autobots. Obviously, they got a new writing team and they've done their research, so adding in Hot Rod obviously has some sort of significance in the story. Not only that, the fact that we haven't even seen Hot Rod's alt mode in the filming of Transformers last night means something. It means that he's not part of the main Autobot team. The main Autobot team, we already know who it consists of. Aside from Optimus Prime, who's obviously out there doing something else, it is Bumblebee, Drift, Hound, and Crosshairs. But there's no sign of Hot Rod with them, so I'm gonna assume that we're obviously going to see him later on in the movie, and his character holds some sort of significance to the story. Perhaps Optimus Prime finds him on Cybertron and brings him back down from Cybertron to Earth as a reinforcement. But also, if you know the story of Hot Rod and his origins, not his origins per se, but actually how he fits into, from the original Transformers lore, Hot Rod is connected to the death of Optimus Prime. Now, we've already seen Optimus Prime die many times, okay? We've seen him die in the 1986 movie, obviously, but we've seen him die in Revenge of the Fallen, and we've seen him near death in Transformers Age of Extinction. And obviously, people are tired of seeing him die again. But keep in mind something. The next film is a Bumblebee solo film. Most likely, Optimus Prime is not going to be there, or he's probably going to be a very, very minor supporting character. But at the end of the day, there's a Bumblebee spin-off film happening, and we also know that Hot Rod is a loyal friend to Bumblebee, according to the info on his on the concept art. Okay, so what does that tell us? That tells us that potentially Hot Rod and Bumblebee could appear together in the spin-off film, and or also Hot Rod could be taking Optimus's place after he steps down as a leader. Possibly. This is all just speculation on my part, but I'm just throwing this in there because obviously Hot Rod's lack of presence in the filming means something. Okay? So that could happen. Now, another thing that I want to mention is that the fact that Hot Rod not showing up till later on is a good thing. Okay? The reason why I say it's a good thing is because they're not using the same formula in the previous movies. If you remember on all the previous movies, and I'm sure you do, the Autobots always stick together. They always stick together as a team, but they stick together because of lazy writing. They don't seem to make subplots for any of them. Like, for example, like these couple of characters going off on their missions while these other couple of characters go on their mission. They never do that because, you know, they want to keep the story simple. By having a split Autobot team, it creates for a more complex story. And that's why I say that having Hot Rod come later on is a good thing. Okay, so that's what I'm excited about. Now, there's another piece of speculation that I want to talk about, and that is Megatron. How does Galvatron go on to becoming Megatron? Obviously, it's not something that is discussed too much in detail because that would be spoilerific. But of course, we've been speculating a lot, and in fact, I've seen a lot of people just talk about how it doesn't make any sense. I think those people should also relax because obviously they're not going to give away such a key plot point. So, of course, there's a lot of speculation out there. How does Galvatron become Megatron? And I've speculated a little bit. And one of those things that I've said is that Megatron, or rather Galvatron, becomes Megatron somehow, but then he's also that dragon, the three-headed dragon, just because when you look at the photo of that dragon, the image rather, you see a lot of small parts, okay? It looks like the dragon's made out of tiny parts that are flying around, and he adopted some of that KSI technology into himself, thus making him be able to form anything he wants, in this case a dragon, because maybe in medieval times, or however they get to medieval times, you know, he wants to become a beast, in this case a dragon, okay? Now, here's a crazy part, and this is a crazy theory that I got, okay? Based on this photo that we've seen from the early stages of the filming, they revealed that Megatron looks like this. It appears that Megatron looks like a beast. I'm going to say that he has a beast mode. But in the Joe Blow plot leak, it says that Megatron is a flying jet. He is a jet that can fly. What is a beast that can fly? A dragon. What is a flying beast? A dragon. That is why I believe that that three-headed dragon is Megatron. And a lot of clues point towards that beast being Megatron. He's a beast. The Joe Blow plot leak says he can fly. Put 2 and 2 together. He's a dragon. And not only that, his toys have shown that he's a dragon. And not only a dragon, but a multi-headed dragon. So I'm still going to go with that. I'm still going to go with that Megatron is a dragon. Like, I could be entirely wrong. And you know what? I would love to be wrong. The reason why I would love to be wrong is because I don't want to be able to predict everything that happens in this movie. I want to have surprises. So hopefully I'm wrong. I'd like to be right, but at the same time, I also want to be wrong more because I don't want to spoil myself by speculating, you know, too accurately. And anyways, you know, I choose not to, at this point on, I choose not to talk about how Galvatron becomes Megatron anymore, because I think that we should leave that to be a mystery. Let them explain it in the movie. It's not something I want to discuss too much about, so we'll just let that be. And by the way, I know there's a lot of people been sharing me information on IMDb and Wikipedia. I would like to request that you guys stop, just because IMDb and Wikipedia is not a reliable source of information before the movie is out. After the movie's out, all the information there is solid, but before the movie is out, IMDb and Wikipedia are websites with user entered information. Okay, anybody can enter information on there, and a lot of that information there is, you know, is not official, meaning it's not real. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's fake, but some of that stuff just ain't accurate. Okay, because somebody else that's not from the production actually entered that information in. Anybody can put it in as long as you have an account, okay? So I'm not interested in seeing any information on IMDb or Wikipedia, and I just want to put something out there, okay? Well, last thing I want to say is that speculation is fun. That's why I talk about what I talk about in these videos. Speculation is fun until it becomes stressful. I've been reading a lot of comments, I've been reading a lot of forum posts, and I've seen how some fans have been behaving, saying that, oh, this is stupid, or your theory is stupid, or I think that Michael Bay is so dumb for making Galvatron become Megatron. Like, how does he even do that? They don't explain it. Well, obviously they don't explain it because they're waiting for the movie to come out to give that to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, stop stressing out over speculation. If you cannot, for the life of you, think of any reason why something should happen in a movie, then stop thinking about it. Leave it up to the movie to explain it to you. Stop making your head hurt by trying to figure out why this or how this is going to happen. Like I said, speculation is fun until it becomes stressful. Okay, so don't get stressed out by things like this. Have fun. Don't get stressed. Relax. It's just a movie. Anyways, I am going to give a couple of shout-outs to people who shared my video on Facebook, and that would be to Mr. BP Fout, Cooper Walton, Slyton Lim, Jason L. O'Neill, Jamal Williams, Alexis Magana, Chris Phillips, Alan Marshall, and Dumasani Tembo from Zambia. Thank you so much for sharing my video, and for the next video, if you would like a shout-out, we're going to go back to Twitter and just follow me and also retweet this video. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for shoutouts. Next time, let's go on to fan questions. We're going to start off with this question from Aiden De La Rosa. Do you think that the motorcycle could be Nightbird? I have no clue who that could be. I don't even want to guess just because, you know, Michael Bay just slaps on names. It could be anybody, but for it being Nightbird, that would be a huge surprise. Patrick Solo asks, do you think the runtime for TF5 will be longer or shorter than TF4? I think it will be shorter. TF4, Age of Extinction rather, was 2 hours and 45 minutes. We don't need a 2 hour and 45 minute long Transformers film. 2 hour and 20 minutes, I think that's a decent running time, okay? So I think it's going to be shorter. I mean, that's a really long run time. So, and plus, if they want to make more money, they gotta make shorter running times because with like near 3 hour run times, that means lesser show times at the theater, all right? So that's why they should be making it shorter. Kayla Warren asks, do you think there are any other G1 characters who should or could be added to TF5? P.S. Love the content. Thank you very much for the compliment. Of course, there could be tons of other G1 characters that could be added. I still think that there are more characters that are going to be added. We just don't know who they are. I think that aside from the Decepticons that we've seen in the filming and the Autobots that we've seen, I think there could be 2 or 3 more characters that could be added, okay? John 4 asks, when do you think we will get new Dinobot concept art like the rest of the Autobots? If the Dinobots are even in Transformers Last Night, then we will be getting concept art. The thing is that I don't think they're going to show the concept art until much, much later on. I think they're going to give us the more obvious stuff now. Hot Rod was kind of like a wild card by throwing that in right now. I think that was just to get us excited. But Dinobots, I think they're going to show us that much, much later on. I'm talking about at least a month later. I mean, that's something that they just shouldn't give away right away, okay? And finally, the last question comes from SebiBro8. Do you think that it's possible for new Autobots to come into the movie? For sure. Just like the previous question, or the question before that, or anyways, I kind of answered that question previously, and of course, new Autobots can be added. Hot Rod was the latest addition. I think there's actually one more Autobot that's going to be added. We just don't know what it is right now. So I'm just throwing that out there. I think it's going to happen. I just think that this is a great opportunity for them to add one more new Autobot. We just don't know what it is now. We don't know what it is, or who it is yet, rather. But that's all I know. Anyways, I'm going to be throwing an Instagram contest pretty soon. Not in this video, most likely the next video. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. And the contest that is available to all Ragin Nation members. That's all you guys, my viewers. As long as you're following me, you are part of the Ragin Nation and you are a member. There will be a contest that will be on Instagram. So make sure you follow me, and I will be posting the question on Instagram, and I will be posting a photo of the prize. It's going to be really, really exciting. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, and there you have it. So the next episode, we're going to talk about Decepticons. We're going to talk about Barricade. So stay tuned for that episode. That's episode number 68. And once again, I really appreciate you guys for all subscribing and following me and watching my videos. And there's going to be more of them. And there's obviously going to be more shout-outs. So of course, stay tuned for that. But this is your one-stop shop for all the news for Transformers Last Night, and I hope to see you guys again on episode number 68. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. While he hasn't showed up in the last 4 films, this will be the first time where they're fighting alongside together, and maybe there's going to be a little bit of banter where they talk